All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. We're back again with another informative class. It's time that we talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. It's time that we talk about it. Because after doing very little research, on the subject matter of why is the African American the American Indian, we've been having so many discussions about that. And so many people want to come in and say this and that about this subject matter. We got Pan-African teachers saying that some of us are pretendians. We have other African people claiming to be black. We have so many different situations about the African American, aka the Negro, black people of America. And with this last subject for today, we're gonna cover it for one more again. We're gonna deal with the ancient Americans, and we're gonna establish this is history. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Come on in. You know how I do. I'm trying a new method, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing a new method, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. I'm doing a new method, ladies and gentlemen. I need y'all to come on in here. We're going to discuss it. Don't leave before we discuss it. We're going to talk about the American bloodline. We're going to talk about who's real the indigenous. We're going to go use the information of the conquerors. We're not going to talk about it for ourselves. We're not going to say it was us. Come on in here. Share this video, chat. Y'all know how I do it. Hold on, chat. Y'all know how I do it. I got the little MacBook. Y'all know I think I'm fly now. I got the TikTok. I said, SVA, get the computer. I got the MacBook. I think I'm fly now, chat. Tap that screen, chat. We got another one from the Americans. How many of y'all know somebody look like this? All right? And you see how they chopped off the face. You see how they notorious for chopping off the face. We talking about these conquerors. We talking about the people that came in and enslaved the Americans. We know who they are. We don't have to keep covering it year after year. Every year in school, we got to find out his history. But as soon as we start talking about the history, they want to get mad and say, oh, we being racist. Wait a minute. You taught us this in school. So when we reflect on it, and give our own perspective and our own intelligence to the matter, we start finding out, chat, that we've been bamboozled, chat. Come on in, chat. Tap that screen, because we're going to cover this. Once I hit 1,000, we're going to cover it, chat. I'm trying to work my little, you feel me? I'm trying to get my little shit. Trying to get my shit together. I don't even know how to do this shit right. Chat. Hey, come on in, chat. I'm trying to get it together, chat. Come on in, chat. I'm working on that one. We're going to talk about the American Indian today. We're going to talk about the original ancestors today. We're going to show them one more time why the black American Negro, the aka African American, is the true indigenous birthright. We're going to show them again, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to show them the Indian African first. We're going to show them.
Stones, D12 engine, D10 motherfuckers is just too sensitive. We run New York, ride the streets, pump two, slap my bitch on the ass, make me go brown and jump through. Cosmos getting nails, look how I got a pill. Fast five in the coupe like Vin Diesel in Brazil. Could've laid after the stretch, it was easier to chill. All white, laid back, she's coloring for me.
Come on in, ladies and gentlemen. Come on in. I got the Malcolms out. Touch that screen, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to cover it today. Now, I got a whole list of slides that we're going to cover today with this evidence right here. Hold on, chat. Hold on, chat. Let me bring it back. That's my new shit right here, chat. Let me bring that back, chat. Hold on, chat. Now listen, with this evidence that I have, I'm about to present to you, it's going to confirm through the writings of the conqueror. It didn't even take me long. I've been studying blood types for whenever, right? But when they say, yo, SFA, look into the history, SFA, look into the history of the Indians, SFA, you need to go find out about the Dawes Rolls. They were talking all this stuff, right? So I started, it didn't even take me long, because I'm very intelligent. It didn't take me long to decrack. It didn't take me long to put a slice in the middle. If you guys are educated and you went to school, if you got higher learning, AA, BA, AS, whatever, MS, Masters, dissertations, PhDs, if you guys got higher learning, you already should know this information already. You guys out here playing games. And you know what I knew too, right? But until I started getting back into the books, until I started talking to, the younger crowds and what they're being taught versus what we were being taught, I found out the truth, ladies and gentlemen. When you listen to the students, see, I talk to college students all the time. So when you talk to college students that are being taught today versus what the college students of my era was being taught, oh, it's a whole different ballgame, ladies and gentlemen. It's a whole different ballgame. These college students are being taught that the white man was a slave. Also, these college students are being taught that the American Indians were sick, not beat up. They didn't get beat up because they were weak. They got beat up because they were sick. These classes have taught certain things, but we know back in the days when we were growing up, we were taught different things. We were taught esoteric knowledge. We were taught big boy knowledge that the new students don't know. So I'm going to say this right now before I pump my music back up. Tap that screen. We're not getting started until I see until I see 1,000. Y'all know how I do. Tap that screen. We're not getting started until I see 1,000. And I'm going to tell you like this. We're not getting started until I see 1,000 likes in the motherfucking chat. I don't want y'all thinking I'm trying to see 1,000 people right now. That's a lot today on the Tuesday. I need 1,000 likes in the chat. I need 1,000 likes. And if you can, give me 2,000 likes, because we're going to cover the fact. If you guys have higher learning, you've been sitting out here. I'm kind of upset about a lot of y'all, because even myself, because I knew the truth and all that, but I didn't know the new truth. You see, I knew the old truth, but I didn't know the new internet web truth. See, we got the old truth about the Indians, the slaves and all this. But now that the internet has taken over, the web has found deep, dark knowledge. Now we got the new truth. So what I want to say to all my older people in the crowd that's listening, before I bump this music, tap that screen. Oh, we here. But tap it one more. Let's get to 2,000, chat. Listen, I got to finish what I'm saying. I want to say to my old school people, man, all that's listening right now, and all to my young ones that's listening, we talk about no man, no age, no blame. If you're old school, you better start listening to them young ones, man. If you're old school, you better start listening to them young ones, man, because you're gonna get a new, higher knowledge. And when you're young, I'm gonna say this: if you're young, you better start listening to them old schools, man. I mean, I go for women and men. You better, discern, right? But when you're young, you listen to the older people. That makes you faster. It makes you faster amongst the younger people, because you don't have to go to college for 5 years to get a 4-year degree. You do it for 4 years. You see what I'm saying? So you become faster when you have help in these areas. You become faster with your degrees when you have older people guiding you on how to be successful with time management and everything like that, because we already went through it already. And then we become more stronger by the young people, because they got the fingers and stuff. They got the MacBooks and all this. They got me on TikTok. We got the younger crowds knowing how to do all this technology, so it makes the older people faster. Make sense? But right now, the younger people, they know about the American Indians. They know about the Negro slaves. And they know about how we became the American Indigenous today. And if you don't know, you're going to find out in this class. Go ahead and make sure you follow the channel. Make sure you tap that screen. If you can, 1 second for the heartbeat. Let's go, chat. Let's go. Let's take it in with my main man. Let's take it in. Bring it in with my man. Bring it in, chat. Bring it in, chat. Bring it in, chat. We got it, chat. We here, chat. It's going down. Listen, hey, I'm with you whether right or you're wrong. Come on, chat. We only human, right? We don't know, right? We got to figure it out. If we ain't been taught, we need our people to teach us. Because a lot of times, we don't know what to do. A lot of times, chat, y'all, we don't know what to believe, chat. We don't know what to believe, okay? A lot of times, we don't know what to believe. I got my map book ready. Let's get into the information. I see y'all was hungry for the information. Let me get the Malcolms out. I know what happens when I pull the Malcolms out. So, ladies and gentlemen, in front of you right now. All right, this is a piece of, how would I say it? Artifacts that was pulled up from the mounds, right? These are the ancient artifacts of the people of the mounds. And you notice how the face is defamed. You know why they're going to defame? We know why they defamed the face. We know why they defamed the face up in Africa. We know why they defamed the face. We know, because the phenotype is going to expose it all. We know why we're going to defame the face. So they're going to take off the phenotype, and then they can add any kind of genotype, any kind of phenotype they want later on. Oh, the clay bones said this is how it look. Nah, man. Nah, bro. Nah, we ain't going for that. We got the new wave students on it, and we got the old school on it. And let's get into the information with no further ado. Let me make sure I got my files together, because this is gonna be so simple. Because now, as the African American, aka the black, Negro, the colored, we've been everything, right? We now, as a people, have to come up with a new name. We got to come up with a new name. The reason why I say that is because the Africans are trying to come in being the African Americans. I don't heard them doing it. The Africans are coming in trying to be the blacks and claiming black and claiming African American. And I found out. Let me just get this started first. Let me get this started first, chat. Let me get this started first. Hold on, chat. I found out, chat. The first people out of Spain running from the Africans. This is public knowledge. How can the Native Americans, why would the Native Americans come in and try to say that the Negroes are not the Indians too? Why would they try to say that when this information is in the books? Why would you even come before us and say something like that? That shows that you really don't care about us at all. It shows that you don't care about us being, you did the same thing that the Dawes Rolls did, chat. They did the same thing the Dawes Rolls did. They did the same thing the Dawes Rolls did. If you was Negro, phenotype of the ancient ones, of the ancient mixtures, they didn't want you. As is happening today, this is conditioning to the max. So we know from this documentation right here that the African people was working with the Portuguese who was running from the Moors. Letter M's, turning them downside for the W's. Okay? Letter M's, again, running from the Moors. Letter M's, turning them downside for the W's. Okay, I'm going to say it one more time in case that went over your head. The Portuguese, who they claim to be the highest in RH negative, had to skedaddle out of Europe running from the Moors. Running from the Moors. The Portuguese had to skedaddle, I'm going to say it one more time. They had to skedaddle out of Europe running from the Moors. And at the same time sliding in with the Mali Empire and all of the Benin kingdoms. And these people were taking slaves from the east of Africa, not the west. They were taking slaves from the east. You guys been in school all this time and y'all don't know this, man. And then they're going to tell us we all come from West Africa when they were taking slaves from the east? Or is it, or could we say, chat, as we are here, we're all intelligent, could we say that these Moorish people that came along here with the Europeans were smashing Indian daughters too, making African, Mali, West Indian hominid, ghost hominid DNA? We could say that too. We could say that too. So we know that they were slaves here in America. No one ever said that. But you're trying to make everybody a slave. And what you don't know is that what you're going to find out in this class is going to teach you that the original inhabitants of the Americas resembled us. This class is going to show you that the original inhabitants of America is in our DNA. This class is going to show you that the original inhabitants of America, whether it been from the enslaved people or the original Arawak, Taino, Mayan, you name it, people that were here first. All right, before all that. You know what I mean? So let's get this started. We know now that you Africans were working with the Europeans and taking East Africans from the Middle and Central Africa into America. Not from Nigeria, because there was no such thing as Nigeria. And not from your nation, because your nation was the one fighting other nations and throwing them back to the Europeans for trade. So we know by educational factors in university, if you went to a university, you should know how to figure this out. If you went to university, you should know how to figure. You should already know this. You should already know this if you went to any type of university and you had to get a general education. You should already know this. And if you don't know this, then they withdrew it from you. They made sure you didn't learn it. That's called the conditioning forces. We'll call that the conditioning forces. So let's get into it. Now, the first time when they came over into the Americas, right? This is before they met the Africans. This is before they brought the Africans, the Moors and the Portuguese, all right? I think this is Columbus. Forgive me, Spain. Spain run into because the Moors was kicking their ass. So they had to come over here to the original American inhabitants. And when they came over here, they didn't call them nothing but the Taino and of the Arawak nation. of the Indians. And all of them were Arawaks. But they had their little different factions, Caribs and all this, what Columbus decided to call them. You get what I'm saying? We had our own calling. You know what I mean? But we're going to go with the narrative, right? So he already understood. This is what black people are today. Peaceful, gentle, and utterly void of malice. We try to be kind to everybody. We've been pushed around so long that now when we fight back, we're going to get into it. How we fought back. We got all the paperwork right here, that you can find in any archive. If you're in school right now, you can pull it on up. You get what I'm saying? And you can see that what Escobar is saying is the truth. All right? So ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that. So now we know the Spaniards gave us a little idea. We're going to run through it real fast. I'm quite sure all y'all should know this. The Spaniards gave us their own description of the American Indian. And they said how gentle they were and all this, and how we were helpful, generous, and you know all the good stuff, right? All the good stuff, right? All the good stuff, right? Yeah, and let me tell you how they trick you real fast. Trick you out your stuff. The European is tricky. All right, so then they come in with the nature. They find out that we had no religion of theirs. You know what I'm saying? And all this. So the first thing he going to say is, let's exploit the weakness of these people. He's not going to say, let's build them up. He's not going to say anything to that faction. He now wants to exploit. He said with 50 men, we can come in here and destroy. But what he didn't realize was he was already destroying the people with them illness, the diseases that he was bringing from Africa. With the diseases that came from the African people that mixed with the hominids and the Neanderthals. They all was carrying the same type of diseases, even the slaves. Because if they weren't, they would be dying too. It said, I showed you a slide earlier where the Portuguese ran and were working with the Africans of the Mali Empire all the way down to the Benin Kingdom. I proved that the Portuguese running from the Moors, letter M, turning down for the W, don't forget the mound for the mound builders, the Moors, running from the Moors, they ran to the American Indians, and the American Indians gave them love, gave them everything they needed, showed them the cotton plants and all the beautiful stuff. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to create some malice. You know what they're going to do? They're going to start doing all the bullshit. They're going to go get a whole bunch of 50 men, because we didn't have bullets and all this kind of shit that these Moorish African people were teaching their asses how to do and all the kind of bullshit. They came over here with the bullshit diseases and all kind of malice in certain places, and they didn't meet no resistance. But they couldn't do that in every place, because we know they've been expelled from a lot of different island countries and the Caribbean. So they didn't do it in every place. But some places were different than others, just like we are today. Some of us are the gangsters of the family. Some of us are the teachers like me. Some of us are the ones that don't say nothing to me, or I'm going to let you go. Some of us are the shooters. We got the Guayans. We got different type of people in our nation. They end up running into the educated ones. They end up running into the kind ones who's going to build you up. They end up running into the she original mound builders, the ones who have the mind of intelligence and wisdom. They ran into the ones who wanted to help everyone. And they didn't run into the ones who said, come over here, I'm going to put a spear through your neck. They didn't run into those yet. You know what I'm saying? But as we start the class, we're going to continue on. All right, so now we know. Okay? All right, everybody should know this knowledge. Okay? Everybody should know this knowledge. They got over here in 1400, 1500s, right? Everybody should know this knowledge. And when they got into modern day here in Hades, after, conquering the other islands, right? When they got over to Hades and Jamaica and all these places, they met a lot of resistance. They met a lot of resistance in that place. You get what I'm saying? They met a lot of resistance in that place, in them areas. They wasn't getting all that other kindness that they said they had. You know what I'm saying? They thought they were soft, right? So as we continue on, excuse me, chat with the slides. As we continue on, you know what I'm saying? We know that they put the population into slavery, forcing them into mines, gold, and cultivating fields due to overwork and catastrophic European disease. They didn't do it because y'all was tough guys. You guys came over here with illnesses from them caves. You came over here from the slums of Europe. All right, you was running from the Africans that had ruled you guys for over 700 years. You Europeans were slaves. Okay, so you in turn came to the Americas. All right, and you enslaved the different people of the same H antigen. You, as your own, were not from the H antigen possibly at that time, because you were being treated and being taught by the African Moors, because I guess they didn't like the way you guys were not taking baths and just all kind of. We don't have to cover it. I'm quite sure the people in the chat, if you're not understanding you should do some research about, the dark ages of Europe and how some of the Europeans didn't like to take baths, and some of them used to eat maggots to stay thin, and it was just so inhuman activities. Okay, so the African Moors were sick of it and went up in there and took care of some business. Okay, so they was running from the Moors and came into the American people, which they called the Tainos, which was of the Arawak people anyway, but they called them the Tainos, and they didn't beat them up and choke them out. They were sick from the diseases that they brought over to us. They debilitated us. Okay, so let's not talk about the Indian African people are as soft. Okay, because as we keep going on, they record that the Africans that were enslaved to Americas, the first individuals were called Ladinos. The Latinos. They say Ladinos, but it's the Latinos today, the mixtures. All right, so the first African slaves were the Latinos. Who would have knew that? Debunk me. It's a site. A credible one, that is, too. That is the government site. We ain't talking about no dumbass shit. Right? So, the Latinos, the Ladinos, a.k.a. the Latinos, of South America, came over and the Africans who were born or raised in Spain were called the Latinos today, or the Latinos back then. All right? And they immediately sent them to work alongside the surviving enslaved Tainos. I'm establishing that the Africans and the Indians were together. I'm establishing that right now, how we became the American Indian Indigenous bloodline. I'm establishing it so y'all follow me, okay? So as you see, the Tainos were ravaged because of illnesses and sicknesses. All right, so they brought in their Latinos, which they call them today, Grand Rising. That's out to the ABO family. They brought in the Latinos, aka Latinos, that were from Spain and looked like us, and they talk Spanish. Okay, but they were part of the African Moors. They were part of the African Moors. Okay, and they came over here and worked alongside the American Indian. They worked alongside the American Indian. So now that we got that established, okay? All right, we got that established. They worked alongside the American Indians. So then we start talking about the alliances, okay? They were forced in the same mines and the same plantations, enslaved Africans, and what they call today Native Americans. But you and I both know there wasn't Native Americans. The Native Americans are here today, and that's the children of the A and B blood group of the AB, of the RH positive. But we still can call you Native because they're the RH positive. And the only way to be indigenous, ancestral, actual Adam gene, you must be the O negative OV1 or the O positive OV1. You know what I'm saying? Those two can make you more ancestral than the AB and AB blood group, unfortunately, because of mixed it. So let's get back to it. So they oppress the Latinos, aka Ladinos. They oppress the Latinos, all right, the African, Hispanic people, and the Indians, okay, together, recognizing each other as parallel oppressed communities. They shared survival strategies, traded knowledge and local botany, and medicine, and frequently intermarried. This is the word right here that you guys, they want to say they interbred with us, but we intermarried with them. You see what I'm saying? The Neanderthal came down and interbred with us, meaning they took our daughters. They interbred with us. All right, as they inbred with the Tainos. We're going to cover that as we go along in the slides. Make sure you follow the channel for more information. Make sure you help me support the channel if you can. And don't forget to press that heart me to join the fan club of the ABO blood group. So what we know now, that the African-American slaves, the Latinos, that they call them today, a.k.a. Latinos, the Latinos today are the mixed breeds. And the Latinos are the original ones, ladies and gentlemen. The Latinos are the original slaves that were right alongside of the indigenous Americans, but they want to put native. You got to be careful the way they worded things. They want to trick you up. All right, so these were the indigenous alongside the enslaved Latinos from Europe, which was captured by Spain, right, and the Portuguese. All right, so let's keep on going. And they intermarried. So if they intermarried, what do you think happened, chat? What do you think happened? Let's keep going. All right, here we go. Am I on the right slide? Am I on the right slide? Oh, I'm sorry, chat. Same slide. Okay, let's go. I got to keep it up, chat. I got the Malcolms out. All right, so the proximity also led directly to first anti-colonial rebellion. This is how the slaves got free, because they were mixing with the Indians. When you hear about the Underground Railroads and how the African so-called slaves made it all the way to Ohio and all these other places, they were Indians too. They were taught by the Indians. Some of them had Indian fathers and some of them had Indian mothers. That's what makes you the Negro today. That's what makes you the new Indians. Evolved Indians. All right? The original Indians were the Taino, and they carried a bloodline. All right? And they carried the Y chromosome. And a lot of the African-American men in jail and abroad, everywhere else, that can come back to the records of the Social Security records of you being a slave. All right, not the green cards and all that, the records, right? You always want to talk about these Indian records. We got some records too, all right? We got records of our own generations going back 3-4 generations. We have records that we are the American Indian. We have those records because now we got African Americans, aka from Africa, claiming the African American name. Now we got Africans claiming the black name, saying they're black. So we have to specify who we talking about. We talking about those who have 3, 4, 5 generations going back in the Americas of the Social Security Administration of the beginning of the Americas of 1606-02 and the James River. We know who we talking about. Don't pull up no green card. Because we ain't talking about you. Only time we can talk about the green cards and we talk about South America. We talk about the Latinos. We talk about the Latinos of Spain who came in with the Native Americans and they worked together to fight. And the Indians mixed with, interbred with the Africans, having children and everything, making us Indians and Africans first. All right? We began to have communities, and in those days they called them the Maroons. Blending. It's right there, chat. Where my naysayers at? Where my naysayers at? It's right there, chat. I don't even have to, this class don't even have to go that long to show the evidence. It's right there, chat. So the African American is actually the indigenous one today, alongside the indigenous people who's mixed with the European today. And we're going to show why they became mixed. We're going to show why they went from Latinos to Latinos. All right, we're going to show why the melanated African enslaved from East Africa, from Central Africa, not West Africa. So how are you taking DNA tests and it says you're from West Africa? That means those conquerors were the fathers of your mothers. All right? If you have a West African DNA, that's from the conqueror. That is not from the people that were there. Because the people that they took the Indians from, the Africans from, were East and Central Africa. The Mali Empire all the way down to the Benin Kingdom. Stole those Africans from Central and East Africa and then brought them over to West and sent them out. So at the end of the day, you guys don't even come from West Africa. If you really wanted to do DNA, they shouldn't be showing y'all West Africa. Unless the West African Mali all the way down to the Benin Kingdom are your daddies. And that means, slavery. And that means slavery. That could prove that you're the slave today. Also, if you want to use that information to prove that you got the Nigerian daddy, because even my mother got a Nigerian, Moorish, I wouldn't even say Moorish, I would say Malian, all the way down to the Benin Kingdom, trader of those times. She belongs to the traders, all right? Her daddies are the traders, just like the Indian, the Taino can say that the Europeans are the traders to them. The same way, the African betrayed their own people, they are the traders. And the Europeans, when you go back to Europe, you take your DNA, they are the traders when you claim to be indigenous. They are the traders. They betrayed us both. So we are a people that would have been betrayed. And now they got us fighting each other. Instead of us understanding that we part of the same group. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I don't want to get too passionate about it. All right. All right. Enslaved Africans. I make sure I got the right shit. Hold on, Jack. Y'all know how I gotta do. All right, now sorry, boom, boom. The rebellion, and let's get to the enslaved Africans. Okay. Enslaved Africans and indigenous people of Brazil began intermarrying. Now we got intermarrying. You see, chat, we got intermarrying. You can find it on Wikipedia. We got intermarrying even in Brazil. The Ladinos. Even the Ladinos was intermarrying even in Brazil from East and from Central Africa. Intermarrying with the Indians. So when we do it, it's intermarrying. We did it willfully. Oh, come on. Come on, how y'all striking it? How TikTok? How that's a strike? It's right there. How that's a strike? Oh, they striking the channel, chat. They hating. They hating. And we gonna keep going though. I don't care. It's right here. I didn't say it. You can strike it all you want. I'm disagreeing with that. Enslaved Africans and indigenous people of Brazil became intermarrying. Let's get it out from Wikipedia and let's put it to the facts. They're gonna say that's a strike. How that's a strike? How that's a strike? This is, if you've been to school in America, how that's a strike, Oracle? That's not a strike. Come on. Y'all know that to be true. The Portuguese stole the, let me just prove it. The Portuguese worked, go ahead and get that. The Portuguese worked, that's a book. The Portuguese worked, all right, with the Africans of the Mali and the Benin kingdoms, okay? The Portuguese worked with them to steal enslaved Africans from East Africa and Central Africa, all right? We have the proof. We have the proof right there at the top, the Central Coast. So how am I being restricted? We have the proof. The Portuguese did it, all right? They stole them from East Africa, mixed them with the Indians. We got the rebellion. What are you talking? How is that wrong? We started joining alliances, all right, and then we started rebelling. Okay, so how is this restriction? And now we proved that enslaved Africans and indigenous people of Brazil began forming unions as well and intermarrying. We have the evidence. You gonna see Wikipedia and strike the channel? Wikipedia? It's right here. Because Wikipedia said it? You're going to try to strike the channel. All right? You're going to try to strike the channel. How about this one? This ain't Wikipedia. How about this one? Said you want to strike the channel. Even if it is Wikipedia, it is Wikipedia. So even Wikipedia knows. You know what I'm saying? How about this one? Let's go here. Is this Wikipedia? Because that's PubMed Central right there. So now I know I can't use Wikipedia. I can't use Wikipedia something quick to explain to you in a better form or fashion what I really meant. So I couldn't use that as an analogy. Well, whoever wrote that Wikipedia. But we could go from PubMed then. All right. Most profound intermarriages occurred and cultural blending occurred outside the reach of Portuguese law in limbos or autonomously communities formed by escaped slaves deep in Brazil interior. We know, PubMed even knows that the Africans and the Indians were mating for years. We are a new breed of American Indians. We are the new breed of Americans. We the new breed. Yeah, we the modern humans. A lot of y'all, but I carry the ancient hope. I come from the beginning of the breeds, all right? My old bloodline and the RH negative bloodline, which before we got illness and diseases, I'm taking medicine today because of it. My bloodline comes from the American Indian. Now my genome comes from the enslaved African. How that sound? My genomes come from the American Indian. Excuse me. My genomes come from the American Indian, from my father's side and all this. But my phenotype, my mama gave me the phenotype, which closely resembles the conqueror of the African people, the traders. So I have conflict of interest here. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, you know, we're running into, oh, you come from the slave masters and shit. I probably do. The mixtures. I probably do. The mixtures. I probably do. All right? I probably do. I won't deny that. I probably do, ladies and gentlemen. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we're not going to deny that the American Indian today, the American Indian, mind you, we're not going to deny that the American Indian has always been a part of the Negro community, has always been a part of the black community, has always been a part of the motherfucking American, the black American today. And since you Africans want to claim to be black American, and since you Africans want to claim to be the American Indian, a bunch of you traders want to come over here and try to join hands with the Europeans again to go take us off our land. I got to call you out. I got to call all of those wicked ones out because we still have them coming in the chat today. We still have them coming in, striking the channel today. All right, we have a lot of people that get upset and try to strike the channel because they know the truth is the truth. Here's the information backed up from PubMed. I don't have to go to Wikipedia. I could go to PubMed. Exactly. We've both been interbred. We've both been breaded out. Both of us. And I'm going to get to it, chat. I'm going to prove it, chat. All right, here it is in the 1700s. Now we in Brazil now. We done already mixed in the Caribbean. We done already started rebellions in Jamaica, Haiti, you name it. We kicking ass over there. We Indians and Africans first. We a new breed. That all the children from those Africans and those Taínos are now us. Who's going to say it's not? All those children from the enslaved Africans and the Taínos are us. Are us today. Especially if you ain't old in America. You know what I mean? That's us. We still the lowest on the totem pole. We know what it is. All right? That's us. That's us together. Okay? Yeah, we're separate then, but together today. Together today. All right, so let's keep on going, chat. Together today. All right, so let's keep on going. Now, it's said by the mid-18th century, mixing had become so widespread that the Portuguese government tried to legally engineer it in 1755, and this is not from Wikipedia, I don't believe. All right, 1755, the Marquis of Pombal passed laws explicitly banning the enslavement of indigenous people while encouraging marriages between ethnic groups. They whited us out. They whited us out. All right? They whited us out, chat. Look, chat. Whiten. To whiten. Deliberate attempt to whiten. Deliberate attempt. What the? Where you at saying I ain't American Indian, you son of a bitch? Where you white Indians at right now? Where you? Take a screenshot, chat. It's something easy to find. It's easy to find. When I started looking into it, I said that I'm doing all this blood type information. This shit right here done proved it. This shit right here done proved that we Indians and Africans first. We the American Indians. A lot of us got the mother X and a lot of us got the father Y. We the American fucking Indians. Now we've been mixed with the European and we've been mixed with the Africans, and guess what? They was working together against our asses. We done mixed with the Asians, and guess what? They were working together against the enslaved Africans of Central and East Africa and against the indigenous Arawak nations of the Taino to be included, and the Carib Indians. But the Indians were rebelling. We just was sick, chat. The Africans weren't sick and dying. Or were they? Or were they? Or were they? They could have said we lost a lot on the transatlantic slave trade. Were they getting sick? They're throwing them over the boards. Were they being sick from them European cave diseases? They ain't trying to white us out. They whiting us out. You see how many indigenous now do not look like us today? You see how many? This is the facts right here, chat. Get this. Make sure you follow this channel for more information. Excuse me for the glitching, y'all. Y'all know how I do when I do my classes. Excuse me for the glitching. This is on Facebook, chat. So next time, one of you card-holding, so-called dolls rolls, come on this channel, trying to claim some, thank you for the gifts, ABO family, trying to claim some bullcrap about you, the American Indian, because you got 1/64 of Indian. Get your ass up out of here, man. Your main man, SUV, I know how I do. I bring you the truth over here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the channel, make sure you follow. Make sure you follow. All right? I need 25,000, chat. I need 25,000 over here and on my other channel in the description right there. We're going to have some lives on your butthole, man. Excuse me for my language. Pause. I like to have fun over here, okay? So the bottom line is the American black that you see today, show some respect. They're the ancestors. Show some respect. That's all we're saying. And y'all got us on the bottom like y'all had us back then. Y'all got us on the bottom like y'all had us back then, okay? Okay? Y'all got us on the bottom. PubMed, okay? We can go back to it. PubMed. All right, so what you want to say is false information. The mixing. All right? The mixing. And you want to say it's false information. Why y'all had to chop his face off? Why y'all had to chop his face off? This is the result of us both. Why y'all got to chop his face off? Why y'all got to chop the face off? That's all I'm saying. Cheekbone, everything. Why I gotta chop the face off, bro? Why, bro? Why? Tell me why. Why? Oh, why? Baby, don't know human nature. Why? Tell me why did they do it like that? Did they do it like that? Why? It's so easy to prove that the American Negro has always been a part of the original phenotype of the inhabitants of the world. Now let's go ahead and find out of America first. Let's find out how I can say that. I'm going to say it like this. When Christopher Columbus arrived in the Caribbean in 1492, running from the African Moors, let it enter down south for the W's, running for his life. Remember that, from them African Moors, right? To straightening their asses up. They had all them diseases. They wasn't taking baths, eating. They having flies, worms, and all their body. They was doing the most hideous. They would have caused the plague of the earth if my peoples of the African diaspora didn't go there and there and say, hey, take this soap, goddammit. And they ain't like it. But we messed up. We taught them too much. Let it end. Turn them down south for the pyramid builders of America, ladies and gentlemen. Turn them down south. Turn them down for the malls, for the mounds, and the X for the Shia, the Olmec, aka the Mayans, aka Arawak, aka the Taino, aka the American Negroes, also with the indigenous. What are you talking about? We have the evidence. Columbus said how he looked, how they looked, how they were. We wasn't no violent people, but they sure paint us like that today. When he ran into them, they was not Tainos. They were the Arawaks, okay? And islands were called the Carib. This what they called themselves. And the name just made up some. You know how they do. You know how we do. All right. We wasn't no YNs. We wasn't no YNs. So how we get the guns? Chat. How we get the guns? All right. We wasn't no YNs. We looked good, chat. Like we do today. Don't look good. Tell the truth. Keep it real. You don't even know how old I am. Black don't crack. What we say? Black don't crack. My teeth. I'm older. Black don't crack. I know I got some crooked shit going on, but I got sensitive blood. I can't be having them do all kind of shit. My heart be acting up. I don't trust them like that. But anyway, black don't crack. And y'all know where y'all get y'all dress from? Where y'all always want to look fly? Here you go. Here you go, chat. Why you always want to look fly? You know how black people always got. You see me right now looking fly. And matter of fact, we got some apparel. Matter of fact, chat. Matter of fact, I'm gonna talk to some apparel companies and I'm gonna ask them if I can give them some designs for free so they can start a little clothing line for themselves. And if you know what, chat? I'm gonna do it for free, chat. I'm gonna ask a company to start a clothing line for me for free, right? And all the money they make, they can have. All I want to do is be able to make the designs. I'm gonna do that. Why not? Because it's time, chat. Because I don't got the power to get it around the world. But another company may have the power. Ladies and gentlemen, it's right here in your face. We love looking good. We love looking good. The new claim, it's no new claim. The claim is that we are the indigenous to America. That is the facts, not the claim. The facts are we are indigenous to America. And the Africans are trying to come in, trying to say they're African American now, and trying to say they're the blacks. And we must establish that we have indigenous American in us as well. We must establish that we are tied to the land, not just tied to the slavery that they want to put on our heads. That is what we're making today. That has been the claim since 15 years ago. And it's still happening today. I say 12, 13, but I can't get my videos that far back. But I got some from 12, 13 years ago, decade or so of information explaining the letter M's, Y's, and the O blood of the ancestral Americans now in the Negroes today. All right, now a part of the slavery. All right, and we are explaining to them what we look like. All right, here it is, right there. That's the claim. We are the indigenous as well. That's the claim. All right, and that's the facts. We're proving it in this channel every day. When you get a chance, go over to that profile picture, hit that link, and go ahead and get hours and hours and hours of all the information that you need with the same sites that you can go check and read to say it's true or to define something that says it's not. I'm always willing to learn. I'm always willing to learn. Okay, so let's keep on going before the questions begin. So, like they said, we had copper colored skin, coarse black hair, all right, like the tail of a horse. So we know we had that good hair, right? We know we had that good hair, right, chat? We know we had that good hair. Oh, he got Indian in his video. No, he is Indian. He got a little Indian in him. No, he is Indian. All right? Indigenous people wore very little or no clothing. We like, you know how kids get hot and take off all their clothes? Come on, chat. Come on, chat. We fit the profile, all right? We fit the profile, okay? Now we can, and when you want to talk about Africa, right? The yams and cassava that you guys love for your fufu, where do you think you got it from? You can look that up right now, Library of Congress. Where do you think you got it from? Where do you think you got that cassava from? How do you think you got it? How did you think you got it? Oh yeah, perms make your hair fall out. Don't do it. You got to stay natural. You got to stay natural, chat. All right? So at the end of the day, what I wanted to establish here in this quick class, all right? I don't know what happened, chat. Look what they doing. I do not know how that happened. I ain't going to tell you no lies. All right? I want to establish right now, that the Africans were working hand to hand. They were working hand to hand with the Europeans. As they're doing today. Y'all corn, tomatoes, you got it. As they're doing today, they were working hand to hand into taking us off our ancestral lands by renaming us into things like freemen, African slaves, and you name it. But with the proof I proved in this class today, with the proof that I showed in the class today, thank you for joining our ABO family. We just proved again through mixtures and intermarrying that the American Negro is definitely either 50 to 75% American Indian right now. And then we also prove, and they want to say we came from Nigeria, and most of the slaves that they captured came from Central and East Africa. So how is that Nigerian? Shout out to the donations. So how is that Nigerian? If you came from Central and East African and you take your DNA test, why is it showing you in West Africa? Why is it showing you in West Africa when the West African Malian Empire, which wasn't West African at the time, wasn't Nigerian at the time, the West African Malian Empire, all the way down to the Benin Kingdom, were going into Central Africa, were going into East Africa and conquering and taking slaves and trading back with the European, as they're doing today, because Africans come over here classified white, and now the Africans are sitting in on African American meetings claiming to be black and African American. They're trying to take us off the land, chat, because ISIS coming, and it's an agenda to try to remove the American Negro for good. For good. Now keep on saying your ass to Africa first. Keep on saying it, goddammit. Keep on. Go ahead. Anybody in the chat, keep on going ahead doing that. And watch your ass get picked up too. I got my card. I got my star. All right, I got my indigenous information. All right, I got my social security card. I got my birth certificate. I got my motherfucker. I don't got no goddamn green card, son of a bitch. I got my motherfucking jail records. All right, they know who I am, motherfucker. I got my shit, nigga. Hold on, you gotta have these days. You gotta have, nigga. I got my shit, nigga. I don't know what y'all talking about. You better go ahead and do it right. You better do what they say do before you figure out how not to do it. You better do what the conquerors say do before you figure out how not to do it. And the only reason we know the Africans were in cahoots with the Europeans, thank you for the donations. All you gotta do is look at the European, look at the United Nations right now. The Africans and the Europeans are up there working together, as they did back then against the American Negro Indians, because of the slavery of the Central and East Africans, and because of the slavery of the Taino American, African, and Rock Indians. And we intermarried time and time again in the Caribbean, time and time again in South America, throughout the diaspora of South America, and we intermingled so much we became a new people. We became the old ancestral. That's what happened. We intermingled so much we became a new Indian, nigga. The American Indian, nigga, and they call them the Amerindians. Nigga, and they call them the Amerindians. They don't call them Arawaks. They call them the American Indian. Look it up. The white man don't call you all that dumbass shit. They call you the American Indian or a native. Meaning you mix. They know who the fuck. They know who the fuck is who. Nigga. You think they don't know? Keep on talking that bullshit. Go get a surgery. Let's see if they know. Go get a surgery and make it, and let's see if they know what they're doing, nigga. Y'all I ain't gonna believe it. Don't believe it. But when your ass go to the hospital, you gonna believe they're gonna help your ass, right? You will believe they're gonna do a surgery to a decent fashion, right? You know what I'm saying? But you can't believe that you're the Native Americans and the American Indian because of interbreeding. Excuse me, not interbreeding. They did interbreeding because of mixing. All right? Because of mixing, chat. Because of the mixing. Okay, chat? They had to make a new regime, and it was to whiten out the American Indian. Whiten them out and call them the native. Whiten them out. So all you indigenous, that's white it out. To all you American Indians, that's white it out. To all you Latinos, Latinos, that's white it out. The government did that. Here it is right here. By mid-18th century, mixing had become so widespread with the American Indian, with the Taínos, Arawak Taíno Carib Indian, and in the slave Central African, that in 1775, the Marquis of Pombal passed laws, okay? He passed laws encouraging marriage between ethnic groups. He said, sleep with the goddamn African woman. Excuse me saying goddamn, sorry about the African woman. He said, sleep with the African indigenous woman, sleep with the African indigenous woman. That's what he said. And we want you to wipe them out. We want you to make them racially equality, but rather deliberately attempt to whiten and assimilate. Ladies and gentlemen, get the chat. Get the chat. I don't got to talk about the chat. We don't got to talk about it no more. We don't got to talk about it no more. All right? All right, let me get my man up. Let me get my man up for a minute. I gotta take some minutes, chat. I gotta take some minutes. Hold on, let me get my man up. Hold on. What's my man name? That got me amped up, chat. That's right there. Take the screenshot, chat. Take the screenshot. Take the screenshot, chat. That's all I ask you to do. You got it right there in your face. If you don't like it, then you part of the agenda. You don't like it, then you part of the agenda. That's all I got to say. What else can you say? It's right here, chat. It's right here. So all you white Indians talking that shit, talk now. Talk now. All you so-called this and that, who's speaking that Spanish language, talk now. You white it out. It was and it's always been medical. It was and always been the Arawak Indians and the African slaves in Central Africa. And we have become a new breed, the American Indian. What's wrong with you? In the Dawes Road, chat. Make sure you push the follow. In the Dawes Road, chat. In the Dawes Road, they clearly said we're not taking Indians based on the full blood, because we shaking those and moving them to the side. And the full-blooded Indians have always been the intermediate of the American Indian with the enslaved Africans, making us the American Indians. Whether it be brother, whether it be father, we work the minds together. We crack the rocks together. We got whipped together. Son of a bitch. What you talking about? We ain't talking about buck breaking, that was us. When they was hanging us, that was us. The only reason why they made the civilized tribes is because they were mixed out. The only reason why they made the free men because they were pure Africans. They know the Africans and the Europeans been working together against the American Indians, the new breed, all you know. Whether you white it out, whether you Africans out, we the American Indians. Why do you keep calling yourself this and that? Keep on going and let ICE take the rest of the fire. Keep on doing it, and when ICE come get you, say we take you back to Africa. I don't want to hear shit. If you don't like that card, you know why. Specifying you belong to the corporation. I don't want to hear shit. If you ain't American Indian, you ain't American Indian Negro if you don't belong to the corporation. Because I don't want to hear shit. We the child cattle. You ain't Latino or nothing. Unless you got that child cattle. Ladies and gentlemen, press that fucking screen, ladies and gentlemen. Get us up to 10, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know how we do over here. I get psyched out. Y'all know how we do over here. Y'all know how we do over here. Get 10,000 in the chat. Tap that freaking screen. What you talking about? What you talking about? We are the indigenous ones. What you talking? We ain't gonna claim Africa no more. We ain't Africans no more, nigga. How we gonna claim Africa? When your ass, what they say? One drop rule, nigga. Right? One drop rule. Once you African and mess with the Indian, you ain't African no more, nigga. One drop rule. Now, if you want to go with the Dawes Roads, right? Let me show y'all. Do I got the Dawes Roads up here? I don't know if I erased the Dawes Roads. Here we go. They want to go with the Dawes Roads, claiming these are the civilized tribes, when they got 1/16, 1/8, 1/8, you son of a bitches. We got American Negroes with more than that. My daughter took her test for 23andMe. She got more than that. My sons took the Ancestry.com. They got more than that. Oh, but they the West Africans? But they the West Africans. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, let my music play, man. Let my music play, chat. Because, let the music play for the ancestors. Can we let the music play for the ancestors, chat? Come on, chat. 1/8 while the full-blooded Indians has always been the American Negro. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a rat in our mix. We got a rat in the mix. Ladies and gentlemen, blood type O is the ancestral bloodline, nearly 100% in Brazil. The ancestral O of the mixtures of the Taino of the RH negative O, now RH positive because of the Central East Africans. Ladies and gentlemen, we the same. We just been whited out and darked out. Ladies and gentlemen, we the Americans, nigga. Let them come in here with a bomb and see if you'll fight together. Let this be a fucking tsunami and see if we'll try to get on the boat together. Let them motherfuckers invade America and see where your ass going. Let's see if you can go back to Africa when they invade this bitch. Because them Africans gonna leave. Alright? All them Europeans, they gonna leave. Let this motherfucker get attacked by some aliens. They gonna leave your black ass. Then you gonna find out who the real Americans are. Then you gonna find out. Son of a man. You gonna find out. Cause ain't nobody helping your ass in America. They take it from you. And then they got you hating your brother because he's mixed. Because you've been whited out. Now you better than us. Because you've been whited out. Now you bigger than us. Because you've been whited out. You've been accepted by because they accepted you. And when they openly told you, chat, that they whiten you out. They whiten you out. Because of the interbreeding of us. The intermarriages got too much. PubMed Central. Ladies and gentlemen, NCBI.NLM. PubMedCentral.gov. .gov. This is .gov, chat. .gov. This ain't no motherfucking Wikipedia. This is .gov. O negative in the building. Shout to you. O negative in the building. This is .gov. Okay? And they said it was enough is enough. 1755. They said enough is enough. We got nothing but American Negro Indians, and they working together to kick our motherfucking asses. We losing wars in Haiti. We losing wars in Jamaica. We losing wars in South America. We getting our asses kicked. What we gonna do? White them out! White them out! They working together. White them out! They become one. White them out! Separate them. Right here in 1755. Debunk me. Restrict that. Shout out to the old positive. Restrict that, son of a bitch. That's all I got to say, ladies and gentlemen. Who in the chat want to come up and say, I don't hear nobody in the chat. Who want to say this is not information? Who want to say that .gov don't know what they talking about? Who want to say that they ain't deliberately cut their face off so you won't know the phenotype? Who want to say it? Oh, Columbus Day. Well, Columbus said the black people were peaceful. How they get wild? If you kick a dog long enough, he gonna bite your ass. Columbus said, and so did the Portuguese, the first inhabitants were what? What their hair look like? What it look like? Ladies and gentlemen, take a screenshot, ladies and gentlemen. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. If you want to go with something, let's go to the archive.gov. Let's go to archive. Just go to archive.gov. What did Columbus say about the inhabitants in his description? It's easy to do. We got public knowledge today. It's easy to do. See, I'm going to take you to the water. You just got to drink it. You just got to drink it, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, they divide and conquer. It's called the Willie Lynch. It's called the Willie Lynch. And Columbus let you know they had coarse black straight hair. We didn't have thin black straight hair. We had coarse black straight hair, similar to a horse hair. And that's why a lot of my African American women want to put on that horse hair, because that they know their hair supposed to be like that. They know it instinctively. They just don't understand that they got that Africa first too. It's instinctive. Why did we? Because that's what the hair supposed to look like. Because you mixed us up. All right? So they know that instinctively they're supposed to have their hair like that. But because of mixing with the Central African, sometimes, you get to the X and, you get the little different shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Native Americans became tall because of a thing called gigantism. My son is tall. He's way taller than me. And the doctors told me, I already know. Because when you mix blood types, you get two things. You get dwarfism or gigantism. And one of my daughters came out, shorter than me, is dwarfism for my ex and my mother. She's very tiny. They call her tiny. And my son came out like her father, Africa first. That motherfucker then 6+. Her dad, her brother, all of them. So my son took on her father's height, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. So we know that we have some tall and short motherfuckers. You get what I'm saying? We know. But we also know we looked good, though. We looked good. And who loved the black people today? Everyone. Who loves us today? Look at me. I look good. Everyone. That's not bragging. I'm not being conceited. Columbus said, these motherfuckers look good. What he say right there? He said, they look good. Handsome bodies and shit. They look good as hell. They motherfuckers looking good. You feel me? And they were naked. And they were half dressed because it was hot outside. You know how them Caribbeans be half dressed? You know why they be trying to, you know what they be looking like. They came and seen it in real life. They wanted some of that yummy. That yummy. They wrote about that shit. They said the Taino woman got that horse-like hair, dark, thickness, and she thick. They said, and she thick. I gotta hit that. And the Africans said that shit too. Bitch, the Mali Empire was over this bitch. I gotta smash on that. That's probably where I came from, West Africa, because that Mali Empire, nigga. That Mali Empire, that Benin Kingdom was up with this bitch. That Benin Kingdom, when it was turned to Ghana and all. Not Ghana, that's East African. So that's the real slaves. But then the Nigerian is the slave master of the times. So if you have Nigerian and you have Ghana, you have the real people that were captured as well as the capture in your DNA. In your DNA. The traitor is in your DNA. So you got to be careful when you want to betray your people. It's in your DNA. That's why a lot of black people don't get along today, because that African betrayal is still in their DNA. That's why. The betrayal of the European is still in their DNA and causing them to betray each other. All right, the light-skinned Latinos, the light-skinned Puerto Ricos, the light-skinned Cubanos, the light-skinned Jamaicans, the light-skinned all the Caribbean, all South America. The light-skinned has that traitorous nature as well as the dark-skinned, because the Africans were traitors as well as the European were traitors. The mutiny of it all has caused us to hate each other. And we more similar to each other. We just looking on the outside and ain't looking at what's in the inside. That's how they got you. That's how they got you. That's how they got you. So every time I see a picture like this claiming we came on boats to America, when they don't got no actual pictures, actual real images of us on boats. But we do. We got images of you on the boats. We got images of the Europeans on the boats just like this. But there's none of us with pictures on the boat just like this. Don't try to make it now. Don't try to AI it now. Don't try to AI it now. Don't try to AI it now. Okay? Don't try to AI it now. Yeah. Y'all say that. Y'all show this. But there's no proof. Hey, I got videos on my channel where I got proof that the Caucasian Slavic slaves were on boats like this. They were the only ones on boats like this. They redid it and blacked it out when they, instead of whitening it out, chat. They blacked it out, chat. They blacked it out. But I want to let you know, chat. I think we got it covered. I think I proved in this class, if you was here from the beginning, the origin of the original inhabitants has always resembled our phenotype. Shout out to the ABO family that's in the chat. If I didn't see you, our origins always resembled the phenotype of the original American Indians. Now, if you guys want to come up and have something to say real fast, then I'll give you about 10, 15 minutes. If not, I believe the class is closed. We are definitely understanding why. The next time you come and say why American Negroes are calling themselves indigenous, because we are. Why are they calling themselves the American Indians? Because we are. Because now we can't even call ourselves the African Americans no more, because now the Africans done stole it. Now we can't call ourselves black anymore because the Africans done stole it. But if we say we indigenous American, they can't steal that. You see that, chat? We are now the indigenous Americans. And if you want to write that in your child's description, make sure that that child has a lineage to America. You better make sure that. How about that? Because they're going to find out. They're going to go back to grandma, great-grandma. They got all. Nigga, the Social Security Administration got it all. All right? Shout out to the moderator, man. The Social Security Administration, they know who the American indigenous are. The North American indigenous. You think they don't know who the North American indigenous are? You Africans are not North American indigenous. So you could claim to be African American. We ain't claiming that no more. That's what we're going to end up with that, chat. All right? We're going to end up with that. All right? Ain't no damn AI. Shut your ass up. All right? I don't know if you're talking to me, but if you is, that's not no AI. This is from the walls. I got a live video on my channel right now. I just took an image of it. Talk about it. You don't know nothing. All right? So if we're talking about this is fake. I'm not sure if that's what you're doing. But at the end of the day, all right, if you don't got a Social Security card, get that green card on my face. I'm sorry, chat, if you weren't talking about me. Thank you for joining the fan club. I read it late. I'm sorry, chat. My moderator corrected me. I'm sorry, chat. All right? I can hold myself accountable. All right? If you want to know if you're indigenous American, you got to have a Social Security card. If you're indigenous American, you got to be labeled, you got to be part of the Negroes. If you're indigenous American, you got to be part of the one that they got their foot on our necks. People walking out the store getting shot in the back, hung, I can't breathe. If your peoples ain't went through nothing like that, Africa, if you ain't got nobody with a story like that, Africa, get your ass on my face. Tell me you with the blacks did a lot. We did. We did a lot. Take your green card and go back home. Oh, my bad. I think you was born over here or you came over here. I'm not sure. If you born over here, fine. But don't try to include everybody else. Trump ain't having that. All right? We ain't going through that. All right? The American Indian has always been part of the Negro family. Has always been. Did your grandmother tell you was Indian or did she tell you was black? That's all I got to say. Did she tell you was Indian or did she tell you that your ass came from Africa? That's all I'm saying. The American Indian is a bloodline. And I'm going to show you what it is. I'm going to show you what it is, okay? And this is Googleable. America's top blood type. America's top blood type. And this is Googleable. You don't got to take my word for it. Nah, they ain't going to let me find it. Hold on, chat. I got so many files in here, chat. America's #1 blood type is blood type O. Blood type O, chat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I got some things I got to do. I'll be back later. I'm saying I thank y'all for hanging in there with me. Once again, I want to get out the way so I get that screenshot. All right? From the Americas, okay? From the Americas. The blood type O. All right? It is blood type in the U.S. All right? And we found out from the National Institute of Health, down in South America, it's nearly 100%. It's nearly 100%. Okay? So that is the American blood type. All right? The O1V is from the Indigenous of America. Go ahead and get the screenshot. Well, I'll take y'all out. Y'all go ahead and take it out, chat. We're going to take y'all out with my main man. We'll take y'all with Kanye West. We'll take it out with Kanye West. Make sure you follow the channel. Make sure you put the heart meat up there. I'll give y'all a whole 5 minutes. I appreciate y'all coming in. Tap that freaking screen. Now we know that we've been whited out. Now we know that we've been African out. But we also know we all belong to one, and that is American, okay? We are the true Americans. Let's stop acting like we not, because if they come in this country and try to invade, your ass gonna stick. You ain't gonna care if I'm black or white. You ain't gonna care if I'm Hispanic or Colombian. Motherfucker, we gonna work together to make sure we protect America first, all right? Shout out to all my Americans. I'm down.
I just want to say thank you, Lord. You've been better to us than we've been to ourselves. wonder where the F he been. But I'm back to life like an EpiPen. SG, still in a leopard skin. And check me out, then check me in. See this coat, nigga? Bye-bye to my old self. Wake up to the new me. I used to be a world star. Now I'm making Newsweek. I used to hang on a 9. Now I bought 2 streets. Cottage Grove to King Drive. Yeah, this life is a movie. Bye-bye to my old self. Wake up to the new me. I used to be a world star. Now I'm making Newsweek. I used to hang on a 9. Now I bought 2 streets. Cottage Grove to King Drive. Yeah, this life is a movie. Cause I look good. I smell good. I feel good.
And you sing good.
And make love good.
Know you wonder where the F I been. Going hard like a crack syringe. I been breaking bad now back again. Deal tickets, no raffling. See these kicks, nigga? Made checks off the right steps. More vision to some more gleams. She used to be a lone star. Waking up to Lucy's. In the back. Live up in the 7. Now I bought 2 streets. OST Luther King Drive.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Thank everybody. I'd like to thank everybody for hanging in with me. Make sure you join the fan club. If you can't support the channel, tap that screen. Follow the channel. Go into that profile link and get that link. Over 40 hours of informative videos to give you the information about the answer.